activity tables and charts. So we're now going to look at applying our knowledge of networks to the real world. So we're going to consider the following activities. So just going to do some headings. Okay. So the activities we're going to consider is putting on socks, putting on pants, and putting on shoes. We're going to give each of these activities a name, just A, B, and C. The duration that these activities are going to take, so 1 minute, 3 minutes, and 2 minutes. And prerequisites are what has to be done before that activity is completed. So putting on socks can be done at any time, so doesn't have a prerequisite. Pants, doesn't matter what you do before that. But shoes, both your socks and your pants have to be on before you put your shoes on. So the prerequisites are both activity A and activity B for this. And this is what we call an activity table. It's a summary of all the activities we're going to complete to do a project. And now we want to turn this activity table into an activity chart. And to do that, we're going to put a start and we're going to put a finish. Now, any activity with no prerequisites should go on the left, and anything that does have a prerequisite should go on the right. So I'm going to put activity A over here, showing its path to completion. So this is activity A. Okay. This one's going to be activity B, and over here is going to be activity C. So this is us completing activity A, that's going to take 1 minute. Us completing activity B, which is going to take 3 minutes. And this is us completing activity C, which is going to take 2 minutes. Now, the first step is to connect any activity that's a prerequisite to another with a dummy activity. And a dummy activity usually we do a dotted line. So activity A is a prerequisite for activity C, as you can see in the activity table. So we're going to connect activity A to activity C with a dummy activity, with a dotted line and an arrow. And the same for B, because it's also a prerequisite for C. Now, any activity with no prerequisites, we want to connect from the start with the dummy activity. So from the start, A doesn't have any prerequisites, so we can do that at the beginning. And B doesn't have any prerequisites, so we can do that right from the beginning as well. And any activity from here that isn't connected, we need to connect to the finish. So we can connect C to the finish with another dummy activity. Our next step is merging our dummy activities with our actual activities. So you can only merge a dummy activity if it's the only edge joining that vertex. So this dummy activity is the only edge joining here, so it can be joined all together and getting rid of this vertex. So if we do that, just going to cheat a little bit. So that can all be merged together into one because it was the only edge joining that vertex. And the same also goes for this one. This is the only edge coming from this vertex, so that can all be merged as well. So we can merge all that. And we've just got one solid edge there for activity A going to C. Same goes with B. That's the only edge joining B, so that can be removed. And same with this one. Now we can join that all up, going to C. And with the same principle, this is the only edge joining this vertex, so it can also be merged. To the finish. And now we've successfully created an activity chart that describes that activity table. You can't always remove your dummy activities, but in this case we could remove them all because they were the only edges joining those vertices.